So in this video, I'm going to share my opinion of one of the most underrated characters in Dragon Ball Z, and I'm not talking about Yamcha yet. We're going to be going over some info I gathered about Raditz and decide if he should be resurrected as a possible ally or damned to hell to be forgotten forever. Anyways, for all of those Zoomers out there,
allow me to introduce myself. I'm Raditz, your big brother.
somebody who barely ever gets mentioned. And if you haven't watched anything other than Super, you probably don't even know who this is. And he is in fact a big deal. He was the villain who expanded the Dragon Ball universe from cute adventures to epic yelling matches and flexing pecs. And this actually led me to liking this dude as a character and feeling like he is really underused. But I mean, he is the protagonist's brother after all. Okay, so now if we're going to be analyzing Raditz, we first need to understand where he came from. In this case, we need to sort of look at Planet Vegeta's history and a little bit about how they raised the Saiyan babies.
There were two tribes that lived on the planet Vegeta, your ancestors the Saiyans and the Tuffles. The Tuffles were a so-called advanced civilization. Not far from the big cities in the arid wastelands of Vegeta, the Saiyans lived in primitive fashion. But because they were so few in number, the Tuffles never worried about the Saiyans. That is until one day, boom, they attacked. And so the Great War for the planet Vegeta began. And just when it seemed that there was no end in sight to this horrible war, something happened on Vegeta that only happens there once every 8 years. There was a full moon. It didn't take long for these monsters to make Swiss cheese out of the Tuffles and their advanced civilization. Well, not far away, the Saiyans met the Arcosians. Now, the Arcosians had money and technology, but the planet Arcos was a dump. So they hired the Saiyans to conquer a planet for them. An unholy partnership was formed. Saiyan might combined with Arcosian ingenuity to form a fleet of planet pirates. They even sent babies like yourself to distant planets, knowing that one day the babies would grow up and carry out the order to extinguish the planet's inhabitants. You see, like Earth, the planet Vegeta also had a guardian. This good man used his power to attract a vast system of meteors to the planet. So he brought destruction upon the planet, which was already doomed by the weight of its inhabitants' evil. Vegeta was demolished.
You were born on the planet Vegeta. You are a space fighter, a Saiyan warrior. You see, we Saiyans are sort of like planet brokers. We find planets that will bring a high price in the galactic market and send our warriors there to purge them of any life and make them ready for sale. Kakarot was sent to clean up this planet, but he obviously forgot his mission.
But then there's Bardock. Bardock is Goku's father, and there's an entire movie about him. This man was a Saiyan who, like all other Saiyans, was a cruel asshole. Yeah, he was slaughtering planets left and right. His team was one of the most effective low-class teams there was. And one time, while they were slaughtering people on Yardrat, he got the power to see the future. And he sees Frieza making Planet Vegeta go kaboom. And despite his best efforts, he can't seem to convince any other Saiyan that this is going to happen, that Frieza is coming for them. So, at the end of the show, what he does is, he has a final stand to try and save Planet Vegeta from Frieza, only to get front row seats to the ginormous blast, destroying him and then Planet Vegeta, as Goku's pod safely sails away to Earth so he can commit genocide. I love this story. It's dark, it's gritty, it's true to what Saiyans are supposed to be, and yet somehow you still kinda like Bardock and his hero arc. It's beautiful. And it has been retconned. It is not canon. This does not exist at all in the Dragon Ball universe anymore, if ever it did. Instead, what we have, behold, Dragon Ball Minus. This is Goku's origin story, okay? This is where Bardock is once again slaughtering a planet, only to get called back to Planet Vegeta, which is really weird. So he is immediately sus about this. This does not happen often. So when he gets back to Planet Vegeta, he goes to see his wife. Saiyans are all nice to each other. It's really heartwarming to see such a thriving community. So he and Gine is Goku's mother's name. Anyways, so they take Goku, and purely on a gut feeling. Okay, no future sight in this story. Just a normal, oh, I think something might happen. Gut feeling. They send their baby off planet in a spaceship to Earth, where Frieza cannot find them. And of course, moments after they do this, they see the giant blast approaching, and they have one final beautiful moment before they die in fire, as Goku's pod sails away, narrowly missing the planet's destruction. Okay, this entire story is just generic, it's kind of boring, and it gives me the weirdest sense of deja vu. Hold on, wait, my future sight shows me a big S. Wonder what that is about. Later on on planet Namek, Vegeta learns that Frieza destroyed his people, but this shows that it's not common knowledge that planet Vegeta was destroyed by Frieza, so that kind of tracks, except this still doesn't explain why King Kai did not instead say the planet was destroyed, and instead said that the guardian of planet Vegeta lured an asteroid to blow it up. I mean, this does not track. This makes no sense. This guy is supposed to be a minor god overseeing the Northern Galaxy. This is now the canon story, by the way. And also, here's the real point I'm getting to. The Saiyans, despite being planetary pirates, are shown to be loving and compassionate to each other. Not the worst of the worst. They value each other and family, which Raditz is in fact a part of. Meaning he was shown love and care despite the harsher life a Saiyan lives. Could this then mean that he loves his brother, his mother, and his father?
Huh, not that it matters.
And you had a brother as well.
Yeah, but he was just gonna be a lower-class warrior. He was still at home sleeping in a nursing capsule. A disgrace. Wait, I think Mom said she sent Kakarot off the planet in a pod, though. Oh well, I couldn't care any less.
Of course, this was through the news that Planet Vegeta went kaboom and his brother escaped. He gave absolute no fucks. This, of course, already shows him to be a pretty messed up kid. So let's talk about his appearance as Dragon Ball Z's first villain. So, essentially, Raditz arrives in a spaceship, plop, crashes to Earth, scaring the absolute bejesus out of the most OP character in all of Dragon Ball, and it is Farmer with a shotgun. Of course, Farmer with a shotgun only shows the barest hints of annoyance at this upstart Saiyan trying something, before proceeding to try and blow his face off with his shotgun, only for Raditz to catch the single bullet that came out of the shotgun. I think Farmer with shotgun might be a little, not feeling up to par at the moment, which is also explained why Raditz, taking back the single bullet, can shoot the farmer all the way back in what is possibly a fatal shot. Farmer with shotgun must be really sick. Anyways, Farmer with shotgun now dead. Then Raditz blasts off into the air towards the first power level, which is the Green Man himself, Pickle. He just arrives, threatens, and then proceeds to try and blow Piccolo the fuck up, only for the scouter to once again go beep 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 beep. There is an even stronger power level that away. So Raditz just decides, screw this, and blasts off to the stronger power level. He arrives at Kame House, scaring the absolute crap out of everybody there, and then proceeds to tell Goku about where he's from, who he is, and what he was supposed to do. Goku says no, Raditz says okay, and then Krillin comes. Now Krillin is a Giga Chad. I mean, this guy landed an android. So Krillin, deciding to be a tough guy, approaches and literally tries to shoo Raditz off the island. I mean, this guy can literally sense this guy's power, and he tries to shoo him off the island. The bitch smack he got from that was well deserved. Afterwards, he then proceeds to cripple Goku momentarily and kidnap his son. He says, of course, that Goku should kill 100 people and pile them on the island if he wants his son back. Then he blasts off, leaving them in their situation. After a bit, he gets annoyed at Gohan, chucks him into his space pod and seals him inside. Piccolo and Goku arrive to battle Raditz. Raditz proceeds to toy with them, even maims Piccolo, and beats absolute crap out of both of them. But they stand absolutely no chance, and he gets really overconfident when proving it. And seeing as Raditz is about as strong as a weak-ass Cyberman,
All of those Cybermen have the same fighting powers.
As who?
It's Raditz.
Now do you see my point, Nappa?
Well, I think so.
This is probably the first time ever he felt strong. Ever. Which really goes to show his attitude makes no sense. He acts like he's like super strong, but he's at the level of a Cyberman, my dude. Everybody but Yamcha could take these things. After the first special beam cannon misses him by a few inches, he decides to get serious, but before he can actually do anything, Goku grabs him by the tail. Now this is a Saiyan's greatest weakness because a tail basically cripples you. But of course, most Saiyans learn how to train their tails to not be a weakness, except Raditz. Raditz, he kinda just didn't do that for some reason, probably because he didn't want to hurt himself, or maybe he was lazy. I mean, this guy works for fucking Vegeta. You gotta know that you should probably, maybe, get rid of the obvious weak point on your body. Lucky for Raditz, he is like a budget Loki, okay? He's good with words. Or alternatively, Goku is as dumb as a rock. So Raditz basically just goes like this. Oh, please let me go. I'm sorry. I'll be good. If you let me go, I'll poop a rainbow for you. And of course, Goku is like, okay, and lets him go, only to immediately get elbowed and then stomped into the ground repeatedly, really, really hard. To the point where I'm pretty sure Raditz enjoyed himself immensely. And that pissed Gohan off, he throws the mother of all tantrums and blasts out of his spacebot, ramming into Raditz, breaking both his armor and his ego. Then he proceeds to backhand Gohan, only for Goku to once again grab his tail. Next special beam cannon finishes him off, and wouldn't you know it, his dying last words, he threatens them with his allies. Yeah, he wasn't even scared of dying, he was just like, yeah, fuck you guys, in a year's time you're all gonna die anyways. In my opinion, Raditz, he gets no redemption from me. His appearance in canon is pretty bad in a weak character kind of way. I mean, if Minus is really the origin of Goku and therefore also part of Raditz's story, then he is the outlier of his race since childhood. He only comes to Earth to retrieve Kakarot to help the mission, despite knowing where he was for a really, really long time. The only real thing he did for the story was expand the universe into a larger, more intense fighting anime. So as a person and a Saiyan, he was a coward, manipulative, schemer, who never really trained or stepped out of line. He should probably stay damned in hell, unless he gets a redemption arc or a massive villain comeback story. Thank you all for hanging around for this little DBZ rant thing, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.